Hey everybody, what's up? So I hope you liked my first video talking about medium armor. This video is talking about heavy armor and why you can pretty much use it on any class. It's pretty versatile. Let's dive into it. Definitely one of the coolest parts of this game, Elder Scrolls Online, is the ability to create a character in a way that is your own creation, and you can make it work with enough tweaking, especially with the champion system. Now that that's been a thing for a while, the possibilities, I wouldn't say are endless, but are very diverse, and that's how I feel and look at heavy armor. Whereas medium armor focused on damage, stamina damage, and keeping you alive, kinda. There's some defensive traits in there, but it's mainly for stamina damage. Heavy armor is all about survivability. Extra health, extra resist, extra all of that. So while heavy armor doesn't specifically give you advantages for damage or anything like that, like medium and light armor do, you can use it to just outlive all sorts of things. And that's why I like it. Now let's look at some of the perks and skills for heavy armor. The first is Immovable, which increases your armor and spell resistance by an absolute godly amount and gives you immunity to knockback and disabling effects. The first morph gives you a reduction in the amount of stamina it costs to break free of crowd control, and then the other one gives you a duration increase based on how much heavy armor you're actually wearing. An awesome skill. I would definitely pick it up if you had enough stamina to use it and you really needed that extra survivability. The first passive we get is called Resolve, and this increases our armor for each piece of heavy armor equipped. Obviously, you're not going to want just 2 or 3 pieces of heavy armor. You're going to want all of them, as the bonus can be quite substantial and will give you a large reduction to physical damage taken. Overall, I'd say Resolve as a passive skill is worth putting all of your points into, maxing it out. The next skill we have is Constitution. Now this increases your health recovery by 4% per piece of heavy armor. And as you can see, right now I got a 28% bonus, and it's incredible. And it also restores magicka and stamina each time you are hit every 4 seconds. Now that value doesn't really amount to much, so I don't really care for that stat. But just for the health recovery is so useful. Definitely worth the 2 points for sure. But yeah, if you were hit once every 4 seconds for like a minute, the amount of stamina magicka you get back might be enough to use a couple of skills. Nah. This next skill, aptly named Juggernaut, is useful for any class, any race combination you can think of. I mean, it's max health. Who wouldn't want that? And I would definitely recommend wearing all of your heavy armor just to get that sick 7% bonus. I mean, if you had 20,000 health, that's an extra 1,400. Love it. Max it out. Our next passive is Bracing, and as you may notice, I don't have any points into it, but that is only because as a sorcerer, I don't really do much blocking. However, if you want to go full on tank, and you have a one-handed shield build with heavy armor, definitely pick this up, because stamina cost reduction for blocking is great. Trust me, super useful as someone who blocks on his Dragonite. Definitely useful. The final perk here, Rapid Mending, is useful for any class, damage, tank, healing. It's great because any class has at least some ability to heal itself. So that extra 7% could mean the difference between surviving that next hit or dying. Definitely max this out no matter what. It's always useful. The extra healing receive also helps to mitigate debuffs that reduce the amount of healing that you can take. So that's a nice plus as well. Now that you guys know what heavy armor can do for you and the passive ability and active abilities, you might understand why I, as a sorcerer, use heavy armor. And that's just because it turns me into like a sorcerer tank. The damage that I lose from using light armor isn't as great as the defenses that I gain from using heavy armor. Now, that's the key factor here. It allows me to stay alive, honestly, more so than my Dragonite right now with medium armor. Like, I have so much more defense as my sorcerer compared to my Dragonite that, I mean, it's kind of silly. Granted, I built my Dragonite to be basically purely DPS with some healing abilities, so, I mean, if I were to use tanking abilities on my Dragonite, it probably would be more equal. But it's great all around because it doesn't help either Magicka or stamina-based users. It's just there to help increase survivability. So that's why I find it useful to use on DPS classes. Now, it's useful for healing classes as well because, one, it keeps you alive so that you can continue to support your teammates more. It increases your max health, it increases your healing receipt, so when you do heal yourself, it's that much more. If you block a lot, you know, you can increase your block, the amount of stamina it costs to block, so, or decrease it. You get what I'm saying there. And of course, heavy armor is ideal for tanking classes. I mean, like I said, raises pretty much everything you want and need to be a good tanking class. I mean, if I really wanted to tank on my Dragon Knight, I would have picked heavy armor. Especially with the whole sword and shield combo, I would have been unstoppable, because blocking just, it blocks so much damage, and then I couldn't even imagine how tanky I would be. But nope, I wanted to do more damage, so I chose medium armor. The only downsides, though, to heavy armor is that it doesn't give you any bonuses to stamina or magicka in any way. And when you have a lot of skills that are dictated by the maximum amount of stamina or magicka, that can be sometimes an issue. Not so much damage-wise, but just the fact that you might not have enough of those resources in order to continually barrage characters. Like, for my sorcerer class here, I'm kind of a mix between stamina and magicka. And the reason it works is I can get up close with my stamina-based abilities, do some damage, and then as soon as I run out of stamina, I can immediately switch to magicka and start slinging spells. And by the time I'm done slinging spells, I can go back to the stamina-based fighting. Or I can use this ability I have to turn all of my stamina into more magicka and health. So it's kind of just like I built my sorcerer in a way that I'm always able to continue attacking, do pretty consistent damage, and stay alive while doing it. If I had chosen light armor or medium armor to help increase my resources, it wouldn't be nearly as effective, as I would have been dead a long time ago without heavy armor. And that pretty much sums it up for heavy armor. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe for more. The next video we'll be talking about is light armor. And then I'll be getting into reviewing some more weapons and weapon skills, and then maybe some build theories once I get into the champion system. Haven't gotten there yet, even though I have 2 characters, but I'm close. I'm almost level 40. I'll get there. If you guys have anything you would like me to do a video on or talk about in particular, that I have the ability to do so, not like, oh, Koji, can you make me a video about being a vampire Nightblade? That probably won't happen anytime soon, as I don't have a character like that, but I'll put that stuff like that on the back burner. But anything else that I can do immediately, let me know, and I will see about doing it. Alright, I'm going to head back in game. I hope you guys have an excellent night, and I will catch you another time.